Hello everybody and welcome to another video. My name is the Goldman and today is Thanksgiving. To celebrate this holiday, I wanted to talk about gratitude. I've said this before on my channel, but I fundamentally believe that choosing to live life filled with gratitude will make you a significantly happier person. In a franchise where you are bound to be disappointed by a few stories in some way, if you choose to focus on what you are grateful for within those stories, you will just be a happier fan. As you guys know, there are certain Star Wars movies and shows that I like more than others, but I'm not here today to rank the movies or anything. I just want to share what I'm grateful for in each movie and show because that's what we should do on a day like Thanksgiving. So let's begin. Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. The thing I'm the most grateful for when it comes to this movie, I would say, is Qui-Gon Jinn. Even though I may not be the biggest fan of his character in the film, his character was introduced here and he was expanded elsewhere. I really like seeing Liam Neeson in Star Wars, and he made Qui-Gon feel really wise and really unique compared to the other Jedi. Seeing his story continue to play out in the Clone Wars was really cool as well, so I'm just grateful that this character exists. Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones. In this movie, the thing I'm the most grateful for would be the start of the Clone Wars. I'm a big fan of the animated show, and the show would have never happened if it weren't for this movie. The Battle of Geonosis is fun to watch, and it really does feel like a live-action episode of the Clone Wars. Seeing the clones fight the battle droids in this huge battle is somewhat cool to see. I'll always be grateful that this movie started such an interesting time period in the Star Wars lore. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Palpatine is the part of this movie that I'm easily the most grateful for. In Return of the Jedi, he's kind of just this evil man that sounds really cool, and he isn't in the other two prequels as much. But here we really get to see Ian McDiarmid really shine as this puppet master Sith Lord. In a trilogy where the acting isn't the best in my opinion, the acting of Sheev Palpatine is excellent in this movie. Also, the memes that come out from this man are just too juicy. Solo: A Star Wars Story. Alden Ehrenreich was very underrated in this movie, and I'm grateful that we got to see him play a younger version of Han Solo. I'm sure most people were concerned about this movie when it was first announced, but I really think Alden did a good job. To me, he feels like a younger version of Han Solo, and I love that about this movie. We may never see Alden again as this character, but I will always be grateful that we saw him at least once in this role. Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This film probably has the second best space battle in all of Star Wars, and I am so grateful that I was able to see that in the theaters. It's one of the best executed battles in all of Star Wars, and there are so many iconic moments. The gritty feel of this battle is something like we haven't seen in Star Wars before, and that's so cool. Also, the Vader scene at the end is just too iconic, and even though it lasts only a few seconds, it's something I can always watch and enjoy. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. This might be a cop-out answer, but this was the film that started it all. It wouldn't matter if The Empire Strikes Back was the greatest sequel or not, and it wouldn't matter if the prequels or the sequels were good or not, because if this movie wasn't as perfect as it is, then we wouldn't have any other Star Wars. I wish I could travel back in time to when this movie first came out and experience it like everyone else did back in 1977. But I'm so honored and grateful that my favorite movie franchise started with something so perfect. Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. What I'm the most grateful for here, I would say, is the character work. I know it's simple, but we see our main trio really struggle in this movie, and they grow a lot more than we see them grow in A New Hope. Seeing Luke learn more about the Jedi and fail in confronting Vader is some of the best cinema ever. This is the most rewatchable Star Wars movie of all time for me, and that is mostly because of the characters. Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi. Vader's redemption and his final scene with Luke, in my opinion, is the single best scene in Star Wars. Very few scenes in anything I have ever watched make me emotional every time I watch it, And this scene is one of those scenes. The power of love and family that could turn someone as evil as Vader into a good man is so touching. It is such a powerful lesson, and I will forever be grateful that this scene exists. Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. Even though I love this movie, I think the fact that this movie even exists is something that we should all be grateful for. 10 years ago, the notion of an Episode 7 was like a myth, and when this movie first came out, it really did feel like an event. I think whether or not you like the sequels, I think everyone can remember their experience the first time they saw this movie. It was a theater experience that will probably never be topped in my opinion. Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. There are so many things I am grateful for here, but if I had to choose one, I would say it is the scene with Luke and Yoda. I love the way Luke was in this movie, and the scene where he speaks to Yoda is the pinnacle of that. The line, "the greatest teacher failure is one of the best lines in Star Wars, and it is a quote that is always in my mind. Thank you, Rian Johnson, for this movie, and for the way you portrayed Luke Skywalker, and especially for this scene. Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker. In the other two movies, I always felt that Kylo was the standout character, but for me in this movie, it is Rey. I love Rey in this movie. I really appreciate the journey she goes on and how this movie emphasizes through her that family isn't just blood. There is such thing as a found family, and that theme is so powerful to me. Rey embodies that idea so well, and I'm just so grateful that Rey is the way that she is in this movie. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Ahsoka Tano is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and it's mostly because of this series. She did get off to a poor start, but her character went on such a great journey. At the time of this being released, it is the day before Ahsoka is probably going to make her Mandalorian appearance in live action, and seeing this character going from this annoying animated character to being in one of the most popular shows on streaming is crazy to me. Thank you, Dave Filoni, for this character. Star Wars Rebels. What I'm grateful for here is very similar to that of The Rise of Skywalker, but I love how close this family feels. The relationship between Kanan and Hera is one of my favorites, and it's always so crushing to see Kanan's death. The fact that a Jedi can love is something I hope is really explored later on, and it is done so well in Rebels. Star Wars: The Mandalorian. I think we as a fanbase take advantage of the fact that we are getting almost an hour of live action Star Wars content a week, for 8 weeks in a row a year. We used to get Star Wars for 2 hours every 3 years, and now we can just pop it on our TV once a week. The existence of this show is something I will always be grateful for. And lastly, I just wanted to say I am grateful for you guys. These past 9 months have been such an amazing experience for me. I've met so many cool people, and the support you guys have given me and the Claude Squad is something I will cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you all so much. And those are a few of the things that I am grateful for in Star Wars. If you watched this entire video, thank you so much for watching. As you guys mostly know, I've been doing the Chatooine show and a show called Green Milk Radio, so if you want to see me just talk about Star Wars for an hour or so, the link to both are in the description. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a great Thanksgiving. Don't forget to unite the Claude Squad, and I'll see you guys next time.